Somalians are suing Trump. Somalians in Minnesota, they are suing Trump. They are suing Trump. They are filing a case against him. And reasons why they are doing this is because they felt that they have literally built America. They have invested in America, especially Minnesota. In fact, without them, Americans wouldn't have survived. Okay? And another reason is based on racist blah. See, you guys know I'm not the fan of the orange man. But the moment I saw this, I was like, why are these Somalians always people should not let the orange man faint or collapse in your hands. This man is already going through a lot. This man started a war that he's still battling with. And you people just wake up anytime, any day to start suing him again. But anyways, who am I? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. With that being said, let's go watch why Somalians are suing Trump. And I'll be back with commentaries.
Some Somalis have filed a lawsuit challenging U.S. President Donald Trump's administration over its plans to end temporary protected status for more than 1,000 Somali immigrants, which could pave the way for their deportation. Temporary protected status (TPS) is a special U.S. government program that allows migrants facing risk of conflicts, natural disasters, or persecution in their home countries to move to the U.S., having the right to live and work there with no risk of deportation. Announcing the decision to terminate such status for Somalis, outgoing Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said in January that Somalia's conditions had improved, suggesting that the Somalis could go back home. However, 4 Somalis and 2 advocacy groups have filed a lawsuit in a Boston federal court on Monday, 9th March, challenging the decision, arguing that the move was procedurally flawed and driven by a discriminatory, predetermined agenda. They cite a series of statements President Trump made, such as describing Somalis as garbage and low IQ people who contribute nothing. The Trump comments had been widely condemned within and outside the U.S. The plaintiffs, who include the groups African Communities Together and Partnerships for the Advancement of New Americans, said the Trump administration's decision is due to an constitutional bias against non-white immigrants. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has not yet publicly commented on the court case. However, it previously said that the TPS was never intended to be a de facto amnesty program. The Trump administration has moved to end the program for thousands of people from several countries, including Ethiopia, South Sudan, Cameroon, and Haiti. The TPS was first approved for Somalia in 1991 due to the country's civil war, with its latest extension being in 2024. According to the Department of Homeland Security, at least 1,082 Somalis currently hold TPS and 1,383 more have pending applications. Over 260,000 people of Somali descent live in the U.S., with the majority now citizens residing in Minnesota, according to a 2024 survey by the U.S. Census Bureau. Somali Americans are increasingly visible in politics, with Democrat Congresswoman Ilhan Omar being a prominent critic of the Republican Trump administration, which has intensified immigration crackdown.
Breaking news: Somalis in America are suing Trump's administration over what they're alleging to be policies based on racist attitudes towards the Somalis in Minnesota. So they filed a lawsuit in Boston, and this is because Trump basically said that he is going to take away their protected status because these Somalis were given refuge in the 1990s because there was a civil war. And also, don't forget that America partook in that war. If you never saw the film about the American participation in the Somali war. So the Somalis have decided to actually go to court over this issue. They see that the Somalis in America are being targeted by Trump. And basically, they say there's no basis or foundation for this other than basically bigotry.
You want to talk about Somali fraud, huh? Let me tell you the biggest fraud in the history of fraud. And I'm not exaggerating. Check this out. America is witnessing the most unethical lawsuit in the history of lawsuits. And I don't say that lightly. Check this out. Donald Trump just sued the Department of Treasury as well as IRS. So he's suing them for $10 billion. That's a B, not million. And $230 million separately in another lawsuit. Please finish the video because I will share that clip that will say that from other sources, from the news sources, not from me. So essentially what he's doing is that he's in charge of both of these departments. He's also, by the way, suing the Department of Justice for $230 million. So 3 different executive branch departments under him, he's suing them for over $10 billion. And this is what it looks like, because I have to kind of show you in a visual way what it looks like. So here is Trump. Hey, I am suing the U.S. government. I'm suing the Treasury Department. I'm suing the IRS. I am suing the Department of Justice. He is suing as a person, private person. Trump as the president, all of these are under him. All of these 3 entities are under him. So he makes the decision for them. So here's the thing. The person, so he's both the plaintiff and the defendant. So the plaintiff is the person suing the government. That's Trump. The person in charge of the government's executive branch, Donald Trump. So he gets to make the decision of what to do about that. So basically, what does he do? Settle. Basically, give the $10 billion, whatever they ask. Yes, sir. We wronged you, Donald Trump. Saying Donald Trump. We'll give you the $10 billion, $230 million for compensation. Right? We'll settle that. Donald Trump, the individual, receives that money, puts in his pocket. That is the worst and most unethical way of doing any kind of governance I've ever heard anywhere in the world. Even those countries that are actually dictators, do you know what they would do? They would do all of these things underneath. They won't be advertising it. They won't be making any lawsuit. They won't be wasting your taxpayer money in the process. So this is basically what it means. When we say this is the worst president of the United States ever had, and I don't mean like a lightly. This is not even like, this is perhaps one of the worst presidents anywhere in the world. Forget about the United States, right? Obviously, the United States has problems, but at least the United States government in the past, I don't know, hundreds of years, had some resemblance of ethics and checks and balances. Obviously, we had checks and balances, right? For the longest of the United States existence. Let it do everything. But the checks and balances, where are they now? So you want to talk about Somali fraud? You want to talk about that? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So here's the clip highlighting all of this, which they're trying to bury. This should be on every front page of every newspaper. This should be in primetime TV. This should be on everybody's mind. It's insane. Check this out.
President Trump is suing the IRS and the Treasury Department. The suit filed in Miami by Trump, his older sons, and the Trump Organization alleges gross negligence over a leak of the president's tax returns in 2020. They revealed that the president paid no federal taxes for several years. The lawsuit demands $10 billion in damages. No comment yet from the IRS or the Treasury Department, which are both run by the executive branch. The president also wants $230 million from the Justice Department to compensate him for the Biden administration's investigation of possible Russian election interference and his alleged mishandling of classified documents.
First things first, I'm actually so shocked that Trump is attacking us. I think Trump should be thanking us in multiple ways, and I'm going to explain. First things first, I think we are a good example of what the American dream can look like. Like, Somali Americans, and it's making me sad and it's funny. Like, I know Somali people are very funny. We're like the class clan who also happens to be valedictorian. Somalis in Minnesota are so successful. I take multiple trips a year to Minnesota, and I leave so inspired. You have Somali-only, like, Somali-owned law firms, Somali-owned pharmacies, Somali-owned everything you can think of, and it's so inspiring to see that what my community could do in just 30 years. Literally, we came to this country not speaking English, not knowing anything. We're Black, Muslim, we're immigrant, and we're able to be that successful. It should be really applauded. Like, I need Trump to stand up and applaud for us because it's shocking. Literally, my friend just moved to Minnesota, and she was telling me how when she gave birth, it was an all Somali staff. Her midwife was Somali. Her doctors were Somali. Her nurses were Somali. Like, that is so beautiful to see, and it should be celebrated, okay? Second of all, Trump, you should be thanking my people for giving a random Midwestern state that much clout and money. Like, I don't think, other than Chicago, I think Minnesota is really popping when it comes to tourism because of Somali Americans like me, okay? So you should be thanking us because Minnesota would have been nothing if Somalis didn't move there. Like, if we're being honest, like, we have made that state pop, and we have made it beautiful for the rest of the world. So you should thank us, and if you want, you can donate Minnesota to the great country of Somalia. Like, I think it's a nice trade-off. And last but not least, I'm so happy that people are discovering how funny, witty Somali people are. We're very confident, and although Trump said what he had to say, like, I want him to know, Yani, like, it didn't even, like, bother, like, it didn't do anything to our confidence. We've heard everything you've said before. People always make fun of Somalia, da-da-da, but I still think I'm better than everyone. Like, God has made me Somali Muhammad. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. On top of that, I'm Somali American, broski. Like, I'm winning on both sides. But yeah, it's just nice to see that everyone's realizing Somali people are very funny, very confident, and that's never gonna change. It has not changed since colonial days, baby boy, and it's not gonna change because somebody right now decided to make fun of us. We're actually winning the war, so. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
The Somali community has decided to respond to the American public learning about their massive fraud schemes that total in the billions of dollars by holding a press conference where we're supposed to feel bad for them. But here's the thing. It didn't go as planned. The entire thing was a massive backfire, starting with this clip of a mother who stands there and says the truth instead of lying and then has a literal heart attack on stage. Here we go.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
This is how endemic fraud is in the Somali community. You can't just say fraud is bad. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. She looks like she was about to be excommunicated for simply saying fraud is bad. And then everybody claps, and all the liberal white ladies clapping. And by the way, those liberal white ladies, they're daycare workers. One of them hopped up on the mic and did the exact same thing. Here we go.
And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud,
Yeah, when Trump said they're not sending their best, this is what he's talking about. But it gets even more unbelievable.
The issue is the base that Israel wanted to have there. Why? That's the question. Why Israel wanted to have a base in Somalia? Base is not a tourist center. It's not a Riviera of tourism and all this. Base is a military, and military means attacking or defending. There is no place to defend Israel in Somalia. So what we're seeing is that Israel is preparing or positioning itself to attack someone else. We don't have Israeli security forces in Somalia yet, and we don't see them coming in the near future as well. But had that come, then that's another day and another discussion.
So what will you do if they do?
Well, we will fight in our capacity. Of course, we will defend ourselves.
And that means that you will confront any Israeli forces coming in.
We are against that, and we will never allow that.
Folks, let me explain something to you, all right? Let me explain something to you. all of that fraud, right? In Minnesota with the Somalis and etc. You gotta understand something. The YTBOY, they knew about that. They've been knowing about that. That was actually a part of their their piece of the pie to go against Black Americans, the real indigenous Americans, the real American Indians, the real JEWSs, right? So they already knew about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they were allowed to, the Somalis were allowed to do that. That was a part of their blessing. You think they didn't been fucking knowing about that? But it was okay, because the YTBOY Esau was in his fucking blessing. Now that he's out of his blessing and Jacob, the Black American man, is about to step into our glory forever, being a real American Indians, right? Now, everybody want to play stupid, everybody want to play semantics, and with the YTBOY do, right? Bro, the YTBOY, these motherfuckers invented fraud. I think they invented the word. There was no such thing as a fraud. They invented all that shit. Just like how they invented racism. They invented the shit. Literally. And what they do, right? Now, they see that their time is up. So now all of the people who they made deals with, now they want to, turn their back on them. Now they want to expose them, right? Because here's the thing, man. A lot of these motherfuckers is prideful to YTBOY, but they don't know the Most High saving the best for last. I've been saying this shit for a while. He's saving the best for last, right? But look, told y'all made a deal with the devil, right? The YTBOY and Satan, right? And now what he doing? Look, they're nothing. They're there. The Most High's in the mix, man. The Most High's in the mix. That's what they do, bro. That's what them folks do. But that's your boy, though. That's your boy, though. Look, turned on you. Made a deal. You're like, yeah, we'll follow you. Immigrant, yeah, we'll follow you. All we got to do is HATEBLACK. No problem. We'll follow you. And look, party's fucking over, and what they do. They're nothing. Their country is, and then, turned on you. And meanwhile, we've been trying to tell you motherfuckers that they're devils. Not all of them, just 99.99999999999%. We've been trying to fucking tell ya. They didn't want to fucking listen. There's warning before the storm, always. Now it's too late, Bubs. Because you would have had to, in order to get into the kingdom of the Black American man, so you would have been had love in us. You would have been having to, it should have been in your heart. It would have had been in your heart. Right? I'm sure there's plenty of Somalis that genuinely love Black Americans and genuinely fuck with us. Been fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? Not want to fuck with us now that they see Black American man is about to rule forever, but been fucking with us before they even knew that. The whitey boy do to y'all. Flip that quick. Motherfuckers don't care about nothing but they flesh, bro. Nothing. They're the fleshlight PayPal. The NIGGA sold his birthright for some chicken noodle soup, some crackers, and some ham hocks. A pig. A bowl of soup, Bubs. That's what Esau sold his birthright for. That was spiritual. That was symbolically, spiritually of them being a fleshly people. It was always about Black Americans. You fucking stupid ID. It's always about us. Why else would they make a deal like that with y'all? Duh. It's always about fucking Black America. Black Americans are the number one people on earth. God said so. Above all people. Always was. We just had to go on punishment for a little while. Curse of Deuteronomy 28. When you know the Bible, you know how to piece together, you got the Holy Spirit, our mother, shit makes all the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world. All the sense in the world. Now look at you. The fuck you crazy? Yeah. Proximity to whiteness. Motherfucker, that was using y'all as a right? They never cared about y'all. It was always about us. They never cared about y'all, ever. Y'all fighting for proximity to them, for them. Meanwhile, all they ever gave a fuck about was BLACK Americans. That's all I ever, because we are the threat to stand, we are the only people who stand in front of their rulership. They never gave a fuck about y'all. Ever. Not one time. Hell, look, but y'all got brainwash, you got the Lulu. Huh? Here's a piece of the pie. Hey, you want this restaurant? You want this gas station? You want this? You want that? Want that? Oh, y'all just hate that. Y'all still couldn't even piece it together. Why are they giving us this shit to hate these PPL? Come on, man. You made your bed, nigga. Lay in it. All praise to the Most High. Black Americans are the real. Indigenous Americans, American Indians from the same bloodline and tribe, Shah or Jesus Christ. All praise to the Most High.
Mr. Trump, you've said Somalia has no law, no government, and is the worst place on earth. But here's the truth. The United States is one of our biggest supporters. You've helped rebuild our country, funded our government, and paid the salaries of our troops. In the last 20 years alone, America has spent over $150 billion in Somalia, funding schools, agriculture, and jobs. Its absence is felt. And yes, we understand your comments may have been aimed at Representative Ilhan Omar. We get the politics. But let me be clear. Somalia is a deeply religious Muslim nation. And in many ways, our values align more closely with your MAGA supporters than with liberal secularism. In fact, Islam and Christianity have more in common with each other than either has with Judaism, especially on core beliefs. As Muslims, we believe in Jesus, peace be upon him, and we believe in his return. That's a powerful bond between us and many Christians. And to your base, Tucker Carlson, if you're listening, ask me anything, even about the Epstein files. In Somalia, we don't have that. We don't tolerate pedophilia. We protect our children, full stop. So let's stop talking down to Somalia. Let's talk as partners. Because when Somalia rises, so does the return on America's investment.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys have literally seen all of that video. And to be honest, these Somalians are quite funny, to be honest. You get me. I am strongly behind that faith, or I strongly know that with all the fraud that is being committed in Minnesota, right, there must be one white accomplice. Honestly, I don't know why I have that kind of mindset. But the problem I have with Somalians is Somalians don't learn. You know, the moment we're trying to say, okay, maybe we are past one particular stage, the next thing just comes up. Do you get? And as at this point, honestly, this man's head is bringing out some smokes and fire. Remember, this man started a war with Iran, and he is still having to deal with this battle. And then Somalians now coming out. Somalians now coming out with their own problem again. Is gonna be a whole lot for this man. Oh, please. The way this man entered into this presidency seat is not the way he is right now. Do you get? But this is my main problems with Somalians, right? The fact that Somalians think in their wildest dream that they literally built America is what is so disgusting for me. Honestly, I don't know what is giving them that faith. Especially if you watch this particular clip where I played this girl, this particular one.
First things first, I'm actually so shocked that Trump is attacking us. I think Trump should be thanking us in multiple ways, and I'm going to explain. First things first, I think we are a good example of what the American dream can look like. Like Somali Americans, and it's making me sad and it's funny. Like I know Somali who are very funny. We're like the class clan who also happens to be valedictorian. Somalis in Minnesota are so successful. I take multiple trips a year to Minnesota and I leave so inspired. You have Somali-owned law firms, Somali-owned pharmacies, Somali-owned everything you can think of. And it's so inspiring to see that what my community could do in just...
Then go back. Go back. Somalians are the most successful. Somalians take trips. Somalians own this. Somalians own that. Go back without having to sue anybody. Go back. It's simple. The fact that you people think you came into America when America was nothing, and in fact, You can hear what she literally said, that when they talk about the American dream, that Somalians is that American dream that a lot of people are craving for, is another madness. You are successful enough. Your country is good enough. You have everything enough. Why is going back to Somali a very big problem for you guys? Why do you people need to come to the internet and cry every single time? It's none of my business that they literally sued the orange man. It was my business. If they like, they should sue him and drag him east, west, north, and south. Any lawsuit they want to give him, I don't care. But I care about the fact that Somalians have this mentality of we built Minnesota. How? Was Minnesota not existing before war started in your country and you have to find a place as a refuge in America? Is it a crime that they accepted you guys even when every single country is rejected you guys? Is it a crime? So what is this big English that is so difficult that Somalians always keep crying in people's ears, saying it out loud? We built. We are comfortable in Somali. We took trips to Go back. The last time I brought video was Somalians demanding for reparations. Somalians demanding for reparation. They want reparations to be given to them. They want reparation to say, oh, Somalians, come, take reparations that have not been given to Black Americans. They want reparations to be given to them. Now they are saying, whatever. They should continue what they are doing. I don't care. I don't care at this point. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I really appreciate you guys, and I do not take you guys for granted. And yes, guys, with that being said, without no further ado, I like always say in my videos, I'm going to be seeing, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.